Hey everyone! In this trip we head over to Esperance, which is about an 8-hour drive from Perth. 5 hours into the drive we stopped at Buckley's Breakaway, I think that's how you say it, as well as the famous Wave Rock. After having a surf on this piece of granite, we then continued past Esperance to Warton Beach near Duke of Orleans Caravan Park. When we got there late in the afternoon, we were pretty lucky and had the beach all to ourselves, where we continued along the four-wheel drive tracks, travelling from one incredible beach to another. We eventually stopped at this amazing spot where the water was crystal clear with a pretty cool looking granite dome in the background. We then headed over to Cape Le Grand, which was about 50 minutes from Duke of Orleans, where we managed to get super lucky and score a campsite at Lucky Bay for the night. Just a heads up though, this place is booked out months in advance, so if you want to camp here, make sure you plan ahead. The campsite was epic, with great showers and kangaroos absolutely everywhere. This is the location you see on everyone's Instagram, including my own, with Skippy posing on the beach. That afternoon we climbed the granite dome above Lucky Bay and saw this crazy rock climber checking out the caves below. I then caught up with a friend who was down from Perth and we drove along the white sandy beaches of Lucky Bay. The main access has super hard sand, so you don't need to drop your tyre pressure and put it in four-wheel drive. It gets softer though the further down the beach you drive, so just be careful. Then the next day we headed over to Frenchman's Peak, which is a large granite dome with a cave at its summit. We then climbed to the top where we enjoyed full phone reception, crazy winds, and were greeted by a friendly snake when we made it to the top. Well, I think it was friendly because it was pretty chilled out. But a lady nearly stepped on this little guy moments after we saw it. Luckily, we just stopped her in time. I like to think I saved her life, but I guess that's up for debate. But always keep your eyes peeled for snakes out there. We then headed to Hellfire Bay and Thistle Cove, which were absolutely incredible beaches. The white sand, blue water, and granite backdrops made for some of the best beaches in the world. If you come here just for the beaches, this alone would be worth the drive. Just don't expect warm water. Even in summer, it's a little chilly. All the way up from the western section of Cape Le Grand to Wiley Bay Rock, where you can actually drive to the top. We stayed out of the water here though, as Wiley Bay is known for, well, its shark encounters. We then drove to Fitzgerald River National Park, where we found this huge cliff with an awesome cave below. We then explored the nearby beaches, which had some incredible geology from when Australia was joined to Antarctica over 85 million years ago. We then headed to Hammersley Inlet Campground for the night, where we caught the sunset over this amazing pink lake. Pink? Maybe it was red. The next day we drove the four-wheel drive tracks to Coin Head. The beach was beautiful, and you were allowed to camp here, but there was no actual beach access for your car, and the parking spots were pretty small. It was a really fun drive though, where we felt super remote. Well, I guess that's because we probably were. After this we headed to Point Anne, where we camped just behind the dunes. We spent the rest of the day cruising the beach and swimming in the blue water, where we witnessed the Eye of Sauron sitting behind us. The last stop on this trip was past Bremmer Bay, where we camped at a place called Reef Beach, which was at the base of some really high sandstone cliffs. We had a little lagoon protecting us from the waves, but that didn't stop the tide coming up to the foot of our tent during the night. The sand dunes here were massive, and heaps of fun for the jimny, where they just seemed endless. Same goes for the amount of sand that ended up on our tent that night. So there are 2 tracks into Reef Beach, the easy track and the not so easy, scratchy, overgrown steep track. If you're looking to avoid any new pinstripes on your car, take the easier western track. That afternoon we lit a fire, watched the sunset and enjoyed our last night on the trip. Well, that's it everyone. Thanks for watching this video. Any questions, let us know and follow us for more adventures.